Girl, take your pills and put on your compression socks, because you are now entering the production of Super Crimp.
I keep getting jump scared by the nipples.
This is a prop in Super Crimp. This is what Heidi wins for the race.
Smoking the bear cardboard standee.
Yeah, but specifically that somebody pierced the nipples.
Oh, somebody pierced it for... I thought it was... I don't know why, I just assumed that was part of the character. Like, he naturally had pierced nipples.
So, like, Hannah and I were having a writer's meeting, brainstorming what's the stupidest reason for anyone to become a firefighter? And Hannah's roommate, Amelia, pitched in from the background, being sexually attracted to Smokey the Bear.
You're kidding.
She's shamefully sexually attracted to Smokey the Bear.
That's so key, shamefully.
Like, won't admit it. Surely someone else closer to the era in which he was released has noticed how they designed Smokey the Bear to be attractive in an uncanny way. This is... Okay, do you see what I'm seeing?
He is pretty jacked. I guess I've never really taken a good long look at Smokey the Bear, but now that you mention it, now that I'm looking, it's specifically that they gave him really well-defined pecs.
And he has a dad bod, right?
Yeah, and like a hint of abs, which is like, you know, what the people want. Too much perfect abs, unrelatable. Now we don't like him. But he's got a little bit of abs and great tits. So
I wrote that he's like the Jessica Rabbit of cartoon bears. Like, he didn't mean for this, but he was just drawn this way.
Yeah. Oh my god.
As I was painting him in and looking at the references and stuff, like, the illustrations of Smokey really highlight, like, the pudge of his crotch area. And I wrote in my notes, I just sighed in real life. Which is true. He's got that, like, he needs to go to a tailor kind of look, you know? Like, where it's really gathered up at the crotch, because he's got so much fur and other things stuffed. Nope. No, I'm not going to use the word stuff. And...
Finish that thought?
Crotch.
You know what? You're right. They do add a lot of wrinkles in the crotch area.
Yeah, like... And that's like a deliberate choice, too.
But that implies, like, empty space, no?
I've been sewing some pairs of pants and stuff, and I have had this problem with myself. What it means, I think, is that the crotch seam isn't deep enough. What is the problem with the mascot designers and bear clothing? For example, Charmin Bears. That cartoon? What's that cartoon? What did I mean by that? Like, there's so many. Winnie the Pooh! Shirt and no pants? If Smokey the Bear and Winnie the Pooh sat next to each other, who would be the indecent one in this universe? I started writing that, like, Paddington is the only legitimate bear, and then I googled it just to triple check, and no, he doesn't have pants either. They're all corrupted. This is what I hate. This is why I texted you that question.
Oh my god. Oh my god. When you think of somebody in a wide brim hat and a trench coat and no clothes underneath, I do not think of Paddington Bear.
No, you know what you do think of? A flasher! But yeah, if you were describing, like, yeah, there was somebody wearing a trench coat, a brimmed hat, and no bottoms, you'd think he was about to go out and be indecent in some public park somewhere.
I will say, in that first poster, his pants are sitting pretty low already. Like, really low. Like the original one. Oh my god. Thanks. Thank you. Just what I needed.
I had to download the image of these nipple rings because Procreate wouldn't let me copy paste it. And I tried so hard to not let it touch my saved images. But
they're in there now.
I also wrote, spot the odd one out in this... Should I tell you about some of the more creative stuff instead of just the curse things? Yeah, sure. Okay, so I made his jeans, like, more low-rise.
Love that. Can see them getting lower and lower.
Then I was considering to belly button or not to belly button. Abandon the legs to plant him into the ground a bit more. I added some neck gruff because that's very useful for animal silhouettes, like dogs, like Bark Twain. Rolled cuff, too queer-coded. Cut jeans just right. There's a point where I was testing out different colors for his hat. Anything I could do to separate it from Smokey the Bear, because this is not Smokey the Bear, this is Smokin' the Bear.
Important distinction.
Important copyright distinction.
Yeah, it's all legal somehow.
It's all legal if you never get caught. Tried to change his pants color at one point, but then he was too different from Smokey the Bear.
No, you need those rugged blue jeans.
It was really hard not to use so many of the same design choices, though. Because there were very few things I could do to make it seem like they wanted to sex him up even more. Aside from the nipple piercings.
They've already done it.
I did think about body oil, but body oil and fur does not mix.
Yeah.
So I changed his hat from being yellow to being red initially. And I'd just like you to look at this color scheme, right? But with a red hat.
Oh, I feel like I see where this is going already.
Yeah, say it. Say it.
I can't. I shan't. He's too innocent.
Do it.
He's so young.
Do it.
I cannot.
Say it. Say his name.
It's Paddington.
It's Paddington.
It's Paddington. I say regretfully.
It's a reverse Paddington, where instead of only wearing a coat, he's only wearing pants. It's Paddington all grown up.
No. No.
I very quickly reversed that. For me personally, I know that when I start to use blending modes, it means that my brain has turned off. I don't want to think about what would make the colors or the values better. I just want buttons to make it pretty, which works sometimes, but only in a very shallow way, because it's just putting a nice glaze over something that wasn't thought through. And I had noticed at the beginning when picking colors that I started doing that. Instead of selecting colors using my brain, I was like, let's just throw a filter over top to make it cohesive, which again does work, but only as a band-aid, and it's too early in the process for that shit at this point. And I said, I'm so shit at colors, that's why I do so many psychedelic color things, because I'm like, fuck, my colors suck. Let me just throw all of them on there on an overlay layer to distract from that. I also paint a lot in black and white and then just try to add colors afterward because I don't want to think about colors. It's something that I'm working on. And I'm pretty proud about how this ended up because I actually used my noggin for once.
Nice. I'm a big fan of Smoking the Bear. I don't know, I like I didn't, because I never looked at Smokey, I guess, but I like the name on the hat and the belt buckle. There's something so... It's a little...
It's loud.
Yeah.
It's perfectly loud.
I think it's
exactly the right amount of decibels.
That's perfect.
The right amount of decibels being a lot.
Yes.
I'm putting in the nipple piercings already so that I don't forget what the main event is.
Oh yeah, can't forget.
I very unfortunately have to draw the inner nipple bit, the part that sticks out, because that's where the piercing hangs from.
Smoky areola? Smokin' areola, I'm sorry.
And then I said, on second thought, logic of realism is less important than my sanity. Nipples removed. And then I did, haha, got your nipples.
Oh my god. Oh, I saw that slight sparkle on the nipple rings. I caught that.
At this point, I was drawing like his flesh would be more pinched in there and things like that. Or like there would be some shadow indication on his nipple.
Oh my god.
But then I really no, it's actually not in his nipple, it's on the cardboard cutout. I duplicated the layer to use as a shadow. I said, I'll set it to color burn because this is burning my eyes. I kept the shadow very sharp and flat to further insinuate that they're on the cardboard cutout and not the bear. I made a peel back of the paper fronting on the cardboard as if it's ripped, trying to get the piercing in there. Do you see it on the...
Yeah, oh my god.
One nipple is less fucked up than the other because I didn't want to do another tear. But lore-wise, it's because after the first one, they got better at doing it.
Obviously, that's how that works.
And then I imported the cardboard texture. Because of the layer I selected when I did it, this is the cardboard texture. And this is what happened when I imported it.
No. Well, that's how you know it looks right. You know, it looks like pierced cardboard to me.
It does look like cardboard with pierced nipples, even though it has no nipple. I'm not a fan of Smokey fingers. Smokin', by comparison, gets paw hands. He has human fingers and human pecs, but the rest of him is pretty much just a bear. Does he have fingernails, or is it just soft there?
Soft.
Which one would be worse? For Smokey the Bear to have fingernails, or for Smokey the Bear to have human fingers but nothing at the ends of them?
I would imagine that he would have, like, claws or something. but I don't see any.
Let's say Smokey the Bear is your husband.
Well,
which one would be more disturbing to have combing your hair day in and day out?
oh. I think naturally if somebody's putting their hands through my hair and I didn't feel any fingernails, I would be concerned. But Smokey is a bear. So, I feel like he's already so anthropomorphized that adding fingernails, I guess, wouldn't be such a huge deal.
I really like one of the few things that is anthropomorphic about him is his hands. He doesn't have, like, human toes. He only has human fingers.
Guess not.
They gave him fingers when they didn't need to.
Well, how else is he gonna hold a shovel?
Question, are the sparkles on the belt too aggressive? And actually, this is something you texted me when I first sent it.
Yeah,
You said I love the sparkles
Something
on the belt
needs to
buckle.
sparkle. If not, the nipples and the belt. There's something about a belt buckle with your name, like in big letters in the front.
Oh my god.
It's like, it's gotta sparkle.
The duality is having it both on the belt buckle and on his hat. It's the real thing of, like, pushing the design to, like, you know, seem like somebody tried to make him sexual. But, like, the original Smokey the Bear does that. Like, look at this. This poster is even more sexualized than mine.
He's
And
flexing.
I was trying really hard.
He's just so rugged.
I don't even think I would have ever thought, if I were doing this from scratch, to give him a giant golden belt buckle with his own name on it, and especially on top of the giant hat with his own name on it, wearing them at the same time. It was really hard. The thing that was, like, shockingly difficult was making him look enough like Smokey the Bear that you get what he's supposed to represent, but not enough, like, to make him a little bit more sexed up in, like, a cheeky way. But they already did it. You can't sex up what's already been sexed up.
He already did it too well. It's not complete without both, I feel.
If I cover this up, he's just a ranger. If I cover this up, he's just a cheap stripper. So to have them both is the real
Listen, it's integral
juxtaposition
to his
that makes him
brand.
so interesting.
His lore.
Lore. Oh yeah, his lore. He predates Heidi. She's a fire science student, essentially training to be a firefighter, right? A career fighter. This is like an old Smokey the Bear cardboard cutout that the fire station would have had as promotional materials or whatever. That ended up in the wayside, like not being used anymore, and that's when somebody, not Heidi, pierced his nipples. The lighting across his body. I was trying to emphasize the roundness of the bitties. That's bear titties, it says.
Ah.
The bitties. Oh, I don't think I mentioned this in any of my notes, but this back piece where the cardboard cutout is, it's kind of hard to read it. So I made a sticker, and I plopped some stickers, and I made it so that, like, the stickers were kind of peeling off.
Smart. Wait, that's actually a good idea.
Oh my god, one of the suggested things is buff Smokey the Bear. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! We're for sure not the first people to think of this. Oh no.
What is this? Whoa. Oh, his arms are so jacked. Sorry, that's like, it's, the sunlight, much in the same way that Smokin is bathed in light. The light shines perfectly to, like, outline the contours. This one I definitely can't see.
Oh, it's blurry.
Yeah, but I can see the biceps. That's one thing. Maybe I should stop looking for it.
Stop looking for the biceps. You think that we're projecting, and he's actually just a normal bear, and we just want to see. What? Whoa, hold on. You're not gonna fucking believe what I just found. Oh my god, I hope this one sends. I hope to god this one
Oh my god. It did send. I'm kind of sad about it.
I mean, of course I'm not the first person to put nipples onto Smokey the Bear. The world and human beings and the internet exists. Oh, and those are like photos too. That's like a photo. Oh, I zoomed in too much.
Really, good high def. I can see the gland.
Smokey the Bear redesign history. Because I feel like there was a point where he went from, like, that very first poster, adorable.
Mm.
And then there's some point at which someone made a decision. It's so shocking to me, but my favorite Smokey the Bear is the original one. Because he's so cute. He's not so uncanny valley.
Yeah.
His stature
He
is
still looks
very
like a bear.
cute. Yeah.
Got paws.
Yes. He does have paws. You're right.
It's the 1947 stamps that you start to
Oh,
you start to see the paws turn into hands.
the
You
puffed
start
out,
beginning
like,
of
pecs.
the biddies.
The big.
Yeah.
You can already see,
Yeah.
like, his body is so rotund, and the pants can't handle it. Wow, 1948, he becomes a Christian. Oh, no, wait. You have to see the 1959 poster. It looks like a meme.
Why? Remember, only you can prevent forest fires. Why?
Why?
Sometimes he has those like Bambi, like doe eyes, and sometimes they're just soulless.
The soullessness is when there's a forest fire.
Yeah, that's it. Oh my god, wait. You go to 1971, you see the Smokey's Friends Don't Play. All I see is the cut off, like, shoulders above, but if you view the full thing, he's making a statement.
Oh!
Does this not kind of look like an animal star too?
Like, the stages of human to bear. It goes from George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, Abraham Lincoln, and Smokey the Bear. The progressions of humanity. Yeah, exactly. What celebrity endorsements can we afford? Oh no, the 2010s are bad. Oh my god, Jane! Oh my god. You should turn your audio recording back on, I think, before I send this. Okay, I'm sending this one to you. I want you to tell me what you see in this image.
No. Is that a fingernail?
It's a fingernail!
It looks diseased. I'm so
I
sorry.
can't believe we made it full circle.
Wow.
It's a fingernail.
I'm
It's
not a fan. I'm not a fan.
and
I
it's
think this
not
answers the
just
question.
fuzzy, it's a fingernail. I can't believe there was an answer to that question. I'm losing my mind. I can't believe there was an answer to that question.
I don't like the
It doesn't
fingernails.
matter which one is.
So sorry to this man. Really not a fan.
It doesn't matter which one we prefer because the truth is the truth. The truth is that he has fingernails.
I don't need 3D modeled Smokey the Bear with fingernails. He's not a part of my history.
Like, having made illustrations and stuff, that means that somebody either made it without fingernails and then realized, like, oh, like, it's not really reading right.
That's probably it. If I'm looking at this without the fingernails, it would just take a few extra seconds.
It does kind
and
of
we'd
look
feel
like
okay.
he's punching you. It does kind of look like a fist
Okay.
if you don't have the fingernail.
That is
Right?
fair.
Either that, or somebody's supervisor was checking it and was like, hey, this doesn't really read right, can you add a fingernail? In which case somebody had to add a fingernail. Whatever happened, somebody made the decision that life would be better, the world would be better if Smokey the Bear had fingernails.
Multiple rounds of review. I'm looking at it and I'm like, if it's missing either one of those nails, specifically the pointer finger and the thumb, I guess it's not as immediately identifiable as a hand with a pointing finger.
There's a second one too.
Could have done claws.
In the same series. Mine did only get cut off. I copied and pasted it, but
No.
it didn't copy the whole
Oh my-
image.
Just
It
the
only
pointing
copied
finger.
what it was previewing to me, which is which I didn't do, by the way. That's how it naturally came on the website on my phone.
Only the important stuff. I don't need to see the rest.
And it says Ent.
Ent-S. Fingernail.
I also forgot to add his belly button in. Should I add his belly button back in?
Oh, can you? Is there already a layer for it?
I can do it right now.
Would it add to the effect?
Let's find out.
The original Smokey Bear, I don't think you can see his belly button. Or, like, it's implied. You know what I mean? Like, a shadow is there. Oh my god.
Oh no!
You know what? That doesn't feel right. That doesn't feel right. I take it back.
Oh no!
I retract my statement. You don't need to see his belly button. It's a little vulgar if you ask me.
I think I know the problem. He has an outie, not an innie. Oh wait, that actually is so funny.
Here Joking. Oh my god, wait. That actually did a lot. It makes more sense, you know. He's not like lean, like thin and stretched. He's hefty, he's thick.
Yeah.
Your belly button will sit that way.
I gave him the belly button of a much flatter body. I had to give him the kind of belly button I have. Oh god. Oh god. It looks like a face. I mean, all the belly button nipple combos look like a face, but this one really does.
No,
it
I
looks
didn't
like
see
he's
it
like
until now.
The entire process of painting him was like this, except I was by myself, so I was making these little jokes to myself, to the nothingness, to the void.
Smokin' knows it's part of his history.
The last point on here was, he is finished. I love him. Thanks.
Love Smokin'. He's really good.
That's all there is. There really is all there is to say.
I can only speak the truth. He's really good.
This has been a glimpse into the process of the creation of Smokey the Bear. I've been your host, Isabella. Our guest, Jane. Thank you for coming on the podcast.
It was a pleasure. I get to talk about my favorite things.
Which are?
You can infer.